Nobody wants to draft an Asian guy from Harvard.
Bro, I met so-and-so, blah, they were so big, blah, blah. I stood by him and I like came up to their titties. Anybody know how big an NBA player is? Seriously, anybody know? Anybody have any idea how big an NBA player is? Let me show you how big an NBA player is. Look at this dude. Look how big he is. This guy is gigantic. He's gigantic. Look how huge he is. I mean, he dwarfs Cash Nasty. And Cash, I looked up Cash. Cash is like 5'10", 170, 175 pounds. I mean, Cash is a fairly big dude. I've seen him body up people. I mean, look at his arms. Cash is a big dude, and yet this guy over here, Glen Davis, I mean, look how big he is. He dwarfs Cash.
And they make a legitimate point. What more would you want in a team?
6-0 run now for the Clippers. Len, a rookie out of Baylor. Morris will drive.
Absolutely dwarfs him. And watch part of their game. You want to know how big an NBA player is? Watch this. Look at this. I mean, Cash, I pause it right here. Cash is like in a 45-degree angle. This other dude is just messing with it. I mean, look at his hands. Look how big. I mean, look at his hands, dude. They're like bigger than the ball. This guy's a giant. He's a beast. He's a genetic freak. Now, people talk about, oh, I'm going to make it to the NBA.
What do I need to do to play in the NBA?
Yeah, I'm going to go play in the NBA. Oh, my goal is to play in the NBA. I mean, like every kid, right? That was my dream.
I had plans to play in the NBA.
I wanted to play in the NBA.
Nobody wants to draft an Asian guy from Harvard and play in the NBA.
Nobody wants to draft an Asian guy from Harvard.
I mean, it's ridiculous. If I was out there, I'm smaller than Cash. I would be like an ant compared to Glen Davis. How big is Glen Davis? Let me tell you. Let me show you how big Glen Davis is. Big baby Glen Davis. You know how small he is? 6'9", 289 pounds. 6'9", 289. This guy's a football player. He's a football player playing basketball. And not only that, he shoots like he's got finesse. I mean, we look, there's this one shot in here. This dude has finesse. If we look, he's got even a shot. It's crazy. It's crazy to think a dude as big as him could have a shot like he does. Look at that form. Look at this form. This is crazy. Look at this form. Watch it. This is just beautiful. How big is an NBA player? Look at this. I mean, it's a little weird, all right? It's above his head. He probably has to put it up there for whatever reason, but watch his follow through. I mean, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at that. Look at his offhand. Oh my God, it's a beautiful form. It's beautiful form. I'm sorry, did I say 6'9", 290? 6'9", 290? That's huge. That's huge. Zion Williamson.
Go. Yes.
Zion Williamson, 6'6", 284. Zion is the same weight as this dude, but he's shorter. And he can get his head above the rim. That's how big NBA players are. You ever met anyone who's met an NBA player IRL? You ever met anyone who's met an NBA player IRL in real life? The first thing they will tell you is, oh my gosh, bro, I met so-and-so, blah, they were so big, blah, blah. I stood by them and I like came up to their titties, blah, blah. I mean, they are huge. That person will talk about how big that person is for weeks, for months. It is just that overwhelming. You see them on, we see them on camera all the time, these NBA players, right? And when you put a 7-foot dude next to a 7-foot dude, guess what? He don't look that tall. But guess what? The average human height, you know what the average human height is? The average male height is? Average male height is 5'7" worldwide. How about average male United States? Average male United States height, 5 feet 9 inches. The average weight is, 200 pounds? Shit, that's a little more than I thought it'd be. All right, well, we're getting chubby here in America, you guys. All right, check this out. How big are NBA players? You know what the average height was for an NBA player in the 2019-2020 season? 6'6". 6'6". That's how tall Michael Jordan was. That's how tall Kobe was. Or maybe Kobe was 6'7". I don't remember. That's how tall Michael Jordan was. 6'6". That's the average, you guys. The average. You take all their heights together, that's the average, and divide them by all the total number of players, that's the average. 6'6". I'm 5'8". Like, I'm 5'8", 160. So Glen Davis, he's what, 6'9", 284. You guys got over 100 pounds on me. And he's a whole foot taller. It's insane. It's absurd. It's crazy how big these dudes are. The average NBA player is 6'6", 220 pounds. 220 pounds. That's what you're going up against. You want to make it to the NBA? That's how big you got to be. Realistically, come on. Realistically, you want to make it to the NBA? Let's look at the stats. How big are NBA players? 6'6", 220 pounds average. Average, 220 pounds. That means for me, 160, so that's 60 pounds. They got 60 pounds on me? Dude, if I play someone in one-on-one and I have 60 pounds on them, There's no way they're stopping me. There's no way they can stop my drive. So imagine someone being a foot taller than me, and they've got like okay, they're not a foot, but it's like, almost a foot taller than me with 60 extra pounds. I'm never, ever going to be able to stop them, no matter how good a defense I play. That's how big NBA players are. And then check this out. We think Glen Davis is big, right? We think Glen Davis is big. I mean, he dwarfed Cash, like made him look like a little ant on the court. Cash couldn't do anything. We think Glen Davis is big. You want to know who is big? Shaquille O'Neal. What was he? He was 7'2", I believe, maybe 7'1". He weighed 341 pounds in his prime. 341 pounds. That's almost 200 pounds more than me. I mean, the guy was a beast. A beast. That's how big NBA players are. All right, fine. I guess we should also talk about the elephant in the room. All right, Moxie Bogues, 5'3". Some say 5'2". Yo, Moxie Bogues weighed 134 pounds. Shout out to Moxie. God, I love Moxie. That's why I think Moxie was the GOAT. Can you imagine, right? I mean, you're 5'3", you weigh 134 pounds, and you're going to be going against a Glen Davis, a Shaquille O'Neal, a Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, it's absurd. So that's why I think he's the GOAT. That's why Moxie Bogues, can you imagine what your skill set must have to look like? Can you imagine how quick and lightning fast you must have to be 5'3", 134 pounds and make it to the NBA? Like, hey, bro, hey, I want to let you know, Muggsy, you're going to grow up, you're going to be 5'3", you're going to weigh 134 pounds, but you're going to make it to the NBA. I mean, everyone must have laughed in his face. I mean, there's just statistically, he's like, that's more than winning the lotto. I don't even know what the stats are for being that tall and making it to the NBA. That's how crazy it is. And then lastly, we have to talk about wingspan. So these guys are, not only are they super tall and they have a decent size to them, but their wingspans are crazy. So the average wingspan is 6'10". So these guys are 6'6", and their wingspan is 6'10". So to put it in perspective, I'm 5'8", and guess what my wingspan is? 5'8". That's it, 5'8". So they've got a whole foot plus extra. These guys are like freaking octopuses out on the court, spiders with their long, lanky limbs. It's absurd, dude. It's absurd. NBA players are just genetic freaks, hands down. These guys are crazy. They're like from another universe, and you don't realize it until you see one IRL, until you stand next to one, you're like, Jesus, what am I doing playing basketball? I mean, really, you meet one of these guys, it's like,
to me, he looks like a chinless geek. But is he indecisive? Is he evil? What are the single words you'd use to describe him?
You need to work on your jump shot.